So if you can even perceive of this video, I imagine that you came here to be a part of the shift in consciousness that is happening right now on the planet. Like, think about it. You're probably one of the only people in your lives, or the only people in your family, that was probably one of the first to wake up. That was one of the first to understand that reality may be different than we've been led to believe. That you're an eternal spiritual being living a temporary human experience. And most likely what happened is you went through that awakening and came out of it, and were probably really excited that your friends and family were going to be so excited once you told them about it. So then what you do is you go and you share, don't you know you're an eternal spiritual being having a temporary human experience and all of these things, and then your family looks at you like you have a third eye. And you're like, I do. But they look at you as if like you're crazy, and then you start questioning yourself like, am I crazy? Because they have these spiritual, esoteric ideas that are different than what everyone else believes. But I do believe that if you're watching this video, then you came here to be a part of the shift in consciousness, and it's very important that you begin to embody who you came here to be. Like, we're doing this together. We're doing this collectively. And the way that we do this is we start with ourselves. We start with our own energy. We start with following our purpose, following our passion, taking responsibility for the things that happened in childhood, taking responsibility for the way we responded to them. Because most people remain in a reactive mindset where they stay kind of a victim of their 9-to-5 job they don't love. And they rob everyone else from knowing the real version of themselves, who they really came here to be. I went live yesterday on Instagram, and the goal, the intention, to talk about a little bit of the polarizing energy on the planet that's happening right now. I went live on Instagram because there's all this crazy stuff that happened in the Middle East, especially in Israel. I read the news, and it was like kids and women and people taken hostage, all this crazy stuff. So what I wanted to do is I'm like, okay, I'm going to get on Instagram. And what I'm going to do is on Instagram, we're going to do a collective meditation for sending love to Israel in the Middle East. And I titled the video, Sending Love to Israel in the Middle East. I get on this live call and I'm like, let's do this. Let's send love to the Middle East and Israel where all this crazy stuff's happening. And it was flooded with comments from people that were very triggered by me mentioning sending love to the Middle East. Sending love to Israel. And what I found very interesting is just that at a deeper core level, we are all eternal spiritual beings living temporary human experiences. We believe, we're literally pretending to be these separate perspectives, these separate identities. And then we might get angry or mad at other people, with backing up different perspectives. And what we end up doing is having this chaos that's happening. And even deeper than that, one other area of this, so just to kind of close that loop, I was unaware. I'm not a very political person, so I'm not someone that's always studying the different, the political sides of what's happening, because what I've learned in the past is that a lot of times what we see and what we believe and what the news shares may be a little bit different than the way it's actually happening. I heard back in the day, by the way, like, I'm not political, I'm saying this right now, but what I heard is back in the day, when it came to Palestine and Israel, when the Palestinians would go to their mode of worship and the Israelis would go to their form of worship, they would like watch each other's kids and stuff. That's like the way it was back in the day. And what may have happened is maybe there were different, like when people are in conflict, I'm always very slow to believe that maybe it's just that, but sometimes there's an influence there. There's some form of agenda there that keeps people, because remember, when people are in fear or anger, they're much easier to control. They're much less in their own power. But if we were to come together and begin to unite to realize, what do we really want? Do we want peace? Do we want understanding as a collective? Because a lot of the stuff that I believe we are led to believe that we want are maybe some other agenda. I know it sounds very conspiracy theory, and I'm not political, I'm not saying any of that stuff. All I'm saying is I'm very skeptical, and I ask myself lots of questions. That's why I'm not political, because I don't believe everything that I see, everything that I hear. Knowing that most of the news media outlets are owned by the same organization, a little bit makes me see it a little bit differently. But in general, the point of what I'm sharing right now is I believe us coming together to do group guided meditations or to send our love and intention to the Middle East could be a very powerful thing to do. But even more than just the Middle East, doing that also in our own lives and seeing what is that reflecting back to us. Because remember, at the fundamental core level, all outer reality is a reflection of our inner reality. And the more we can have self-love for ourselves, the more we can let go of our own judgments, our own positionalities, our own perspectives, the more free we can end up becoming. So waking up, I believe that if you're watching this video, you came here to wake up. And the way that you can actually go about waking up is by really standing in your power and remembering why you came here. Like even yesterday, when I was on that live, and my intention was to send love to Israel and the Middle East, and then I was getting so much flack in the comments, I also had to be in my own frame of reality and try not to not let all those comments affect me in a way, in a negative way. Whereas it was affecting me where I was like, whoa, did not expect this much negative. I understand there's a political climate that's going on and all of that, but at the fundamental core, it's just like we're all humans, and the pain that people go through, it's almost like there's having compassion for anyone, 200, 300, 600 people, however many people died or were hurt. It's hard for me to realize, to see that maybe people just don't have compassion for it, because for people, not necessarily just the religion, people that are experiencing that. And it's no, but I believe in this perspective, so screw those people. It's hard for me to wrap my head around, because I literally got out of that. I had to talk to people to understand more about why some people were so resistant to just sending love to the Middle East. That's all I'm talking about here. Sending love to the Middle East. Love, peace. Which is the opposite of what's happening, because there's so much chaos being sent there, because everyone's in fear and everyone's in an energy of seeing the chaos between everything that's happening. Sending love and peace can be very powerful. But I think that us, people doing guided meditations, like the Maharishi effect, where when thousands of people get together meditating on peace and love, and it can decrease violent crimes on the planet by a dramatic percentage. We can do that. After this stuff happened in 2020, on I think it was May 4th or something like that. May 5th, there were 12,000 people on this YouTube channel that was sending love that was just feeling love and bringing love into this reality. So I think it's very powerful. And it felt powerful. And I remember the next day, the Schumann resonance was off the hook. And it wasn't just me doing it. There were other YouTube channels doing it too. But in general, there's so much ability we have to team up our energies together to shift the collective consciousness. And I believe that right now on the planet, this is something that we can begin committing to. And another big part of this, though, is, are you expressing yourself out in the world? I'm not trying to just inspire people with my message and my YouTube channel. I want to inspire you to be sharing your message. You came here to be bold. You did not come here just to sit on the sidelines and to watch everything that's happening. You came here to be bold and to hold your frame and to express your ideas out in the world. And I encourage you to step into that uncomfortability that comes with the courage of being a new you. Stop robbing other people from knowing the real you. All the people you could impact, all the people you could help, if you simply started. But you have to start. For so long I didn't start. I waited. And then I started and my whole life changed. I didn't have it perfect, didn't even know how to edit, didn't know how to do any of that stuff, but I started and it changed everything. And I encourage you to start living your purpose. Focus on your own energy field. What are you paying attention to? What are you focusing on? Before you go to bed at night, set the intentions for what you want to experience the next day, what you want to feel. Say no to things that lower your vibration. Say no to things that bring you down. Have more boundaries. Follow your passion, follow your purpose, express yourself out in the world. Team up using the power of group energy, which is something we're going to be doing. If you haven't checked it out yet, you can go to whatsmyvibration.com to get a meditation for elevating your vibration to a new level. And let's commit to this journey together. Now, if you really want to send energy to that, of those parts of the world, you can do that by getting into that state and using your intention to send that. And one thing you could do is go to this meditation that I'm going to link right here. It's the most powerful meditation for raising your dominant vibration permanently. Get into that state and then send that love to the Middle East. Let's all commit to this together and watch how much the collective energy changes as our energy changes, because that's all reality is. It's a reflection of our own inner reality. So listen to this meditation right here.